So, guys, I am currently in an airport. I'm going to talk about this nonsense from training camp, and it is kind of relevant. So, yeah, I kind of have to talk a little bit about it. And I was just looking through some of the training camp stuff. In general, the one kind of concern for me is that Raven Johnson does not appear to be in the rotation. They went with starters versus the rest. Raven Johnson is running reps with the, for lack of a better word, development crew with TJ McConnell, Kiana Traylor, not TJ McConnell, geez, Megan McConnell, Kiana Traylor, Justine Passat, Michaela Timpson. Whereas the quote unquote rotation, we're running reps together, which is with Chachatori, Walker Kembro, Lexi Hull slash Sophie, whoever's starting, Maisha Hines Allen, and Ty Harris. So it seemed like the rotation is set, and Raven Johnson's not going to be in the rotation. So it does appear like the Indiana Fever have just gone and wasted a roster spot on Raven Johnson. First of all, that is an annoying thing. But let's take a look at what happens here. So they're high-fiving. And look, I don't know. Like, look, neither of Caitlin Clark or Raven Johnson are dumb enough to do this intentionally. And by the way, I don't even say what neither of Caitlin Clark. Raven Johnson just dodges her. So Caitlin Clark goes to high five Raven Johnson here. And Raven Johnson looks like she steps back and looks away. I can't lie, this does look pretty damn bad. Like, first of all, I don't think Raven Johnson's not dumb. If this was intentional, Raven Johnson would be cut tomorrow. She would be cut tomorrow, like. And not only that, by the way, like a load of people are like, oh, WNBA teams, front offices would love to pick her up. Oh, if she gets cut because she refuses to high five Caitlin, other teams pick her up. No, they won't. Like, getting cut for this reason, for as soon as your star player walks into training camp, refusing to basically shake their hand because of a high five situation before you've even dribbled the ball. No one will sign her. But that is saying that I'm working off the hype, off the argument that she's trying to get herself kicked off the team, which she's not. I'm going to be very real here. She looked down. And then did not see Caitlin Clark. She obviously saw something on the floor and stepped back. And then immediately, as you can see right here, she doesn't even high-five Aaliyah Boston properly. So she looks at the ground, she sees something on the ground, steps back, and then tries to reach for Caitlin Clark, and then misses Aaliyah Boston. Like, Aaliyah slaps her arm. So clearly that's not happening. The only reason why I talked about that hypothetical that she did, and that it looks bad unless you look at it in slow motion, you look at it 2 or 3 times, where she clearly sees something on the ground, moves back, tries to high-five Caitlin, and misses Aaliyah. So you're trying to say that she's intentionally high-fiving Aaliyah Boston? And I'm going to be real. This is the crap why I'm like, I actually just didn't. First of all, basketball-wise, it doesn't make sense when you're bringing in 75 guards. But, like, even non-basketball-wise, like, it's annoying. Every interaction we picked apart, Raven had her head down, missed her by a second. Analysing, missing each other, high fives, how old are we? But that's going to be the whole season. They're going to keep trying in locker room issues narrative again until they get it right. Hasn't happened yet. Like, what's the point of, like, for Ken Swift, what's the point of acknowledging this dumbass? But Raven wasn't holding her hand out to Caitlin. Yeah, obviously, Raven took a step back. It is what it is. It's day one and she's already bullying her. Like, it's going to be a very interesting season. I'm looking through all these things and I'm like, Raven struggling with high fives. She just missed another. Obviously, nerves, whatever is involved. Please go back to threads. Yeah, if they could go back to that Caitlin Clark page, that would be great. Every single interaction is going to be about them is going to be picked apart. It is. Every single interaction, because it is like drafting Raven Johnson is not that different than trading for Angel Reese. Like, no matter how good Angel Reese is, people are like, oh yeah, you just don't do it. You just don't do it. Even just for non-basketball reasons. Like, you just don't. You be smart about it. You just don't draft. You just don't trade for Angel Reese. Like, it is not on a too dissimilar level to that. Because now, Now it's 2024 again. It is 2024 again. Um, you've got these Cheryl Swoops locker room issues and this crap, and like I'm being real here. Um, like this is 2024 again, and I don't think anyone wants it to be 2020. Anyone should want it to be 2024 with some of the crap that went on with this team, with that team, with the players. I don't think anyone should want that, and that is literally what the Indiana Fever have done. Is they've created a situation where we're back in 2024. We're back in 2024 in the basketball secondary, and this was a completely preventable situation. There were three clearly better picks than Raven Johnson, given what they did in free agency. One, Nell Angloma, the highest upside player on the board at that stage. Two, Gianna Neepkins. You need shooting, and they say, okay, we needed a guard, but like you're bringing in Story Walker Kimbrough and Ty Harris as a lead, as a guard who needs the ball. Like you can very easily run Caitlin Clark at the one and bring in at the Gianna Neepkins at the two. You can very easily do that. You could very, very easily do that as a team. Not only that, you could like you can bring in, like if you want to play Nell Angloma long term, you could use all those guards and had her as a stash for a year. Get her in a year or two, and then when Caitlin Clark is ready and Leah are ready to go without Kelsey Mitchell, suddenly you've got Nell Angloma, who's probably playing at an MVP level in France, coming over on a rookie deal for 4 more years. You also had Medina Okot, who solves size, because size is at a premium. Do you want to know what players in free agency went for nothing? Small guards. Like, you were able to get really good small guards for nothing, as seen by Ty Harris. You want to know what players went for a premium? Bigs. Even any semi-competent big went for 750k. But the Indiana Fever used a draft pick for 4 years because they were too lazy. They literally, the rumor is that they just didn't want to keep finding backups for Caitlin Clark, and they just wanted to have one. So they were too lazy to try to find backups. So they drafted a player, and they're starting these bullshit narratives. And I'm sorry, like eventually somebody is like somebody is going to, one of these players, like it can't always be the case where the locker room is able to switch off all the social media thing. Somebody, I don't know if it'll be Raven, but eventually if this team, I don't know why we say somebody, clearly DeWanna Bonner. Like clearly DeWanna Bonner. Because DeWanna Bonner was, this is the best organization ever, until that side of Twitter, the Caitlin Clark haters started calling her every slur imaginable, because she of fake noises in the stadium during her game on a record, and her getting third place all time in scoring was overshadowed by pretend noises, and it was overshadowed by her own partner by pretend noises. So yes, DeWanna Bonner couldn't deal with it, and yeah, I get it. The team kind of galvanized, not against DeWanna, but like they got even more close together because of that bullshit situation. That being said, is that if you keep actively bringing in people that are going to put the team and these players in situations where the non-basketball means more than the basketball, eventually somebody's going to crack. Eventually someone's going to crack. I don't know if it'll be Raven, but if you keep being completely reckless in this scenario, and by the way, if Raven Johnson was the surefire best pick, absolutely bring her in. If Raven Johnson was coming in to be a key piece of the rotation, a key member of the team, cool. But they brought in a player who's expected to be the 10th or 11th man, who will get probably at least 10 DNPs this year, because you brought in 75 more guard players in her position at her height. And it's probably not going to cause any locker room issues with the team, but it's going to cause the social media shitstorm, which if things start going bad, all it takes is one player. All it takes is one player being unable to turn off social media, and that shit starts getting ugly. But anyway, yeah, that's the video. See you guys.